Hey guys, David here from Tech, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview of OS X Capitan. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So before we start, I would like to note that I did have some trouble installing El Capitan. So on my main machine, I had to do a time machine install after the install progress bar was stuck at 0% and wouldn't go any further. And then on my second machine, I tried to install it and it did that same thing, so I had to boot from the recovery hard drive and do a clean install of El Capitan. So without further ado, let's get right into the features. I'm going to start off with the calendar app first. So as you can see, there are only a few changes. One of the changes being that when you get an email, you can have a suggested event come up in the calendar. It also gives you a time to leave notification if you give it a location, and when it starts, it'll give you the amount of time it takes to transit to that location so you can be right on time. So next is mail. So the first feature is that you can swipe to right or left to archive or delete or reply or anything like that to a message. There are some more features like tabs. You can also search naturally, like for emails with attachments. You can see here it pulled up the email with an attachment in it. So next is maps, and the big feature in maps is transit. So here you can see I have a picture of New York, and if I click on New York right here, you can see, boom, it shows New York right here, all the transit. You see, if I click on Grand Central, it'll give me this transit thing right here, and you can see you can select these times, or you can create a custom. So here you see, if I search 5th Street from Long Island City to the Grand Central, you can see 18 minutes by the subway, and all of these directions right here. And that is transit in maps. So this is the new mission control, and there are a bunch of great new features in there. So first, it is streamlined. You can see that there are no windows stacked on top of each other anymore. The spaces bar is also super compact, so it just takes up a little bit of the space, and if I drag up here, I can see the whole bar in my windows get smaller. I have desktop access, so if I put this mail up here and I swipe up like this, you can see I can go right to mission control, and then I can create a full screen app with that. I can also create split view spaces, so if I drag this here, you can see I have split view between the calendar and my maps. I can just take that back out of full screen, and then I can also drag one app up here, as I showed before, just create that as a full screen app. So mission control has become a lot more useful. Of course, you can still create spaces like that before. So next is something I just touched on, which is split view. So here you can see I have my two split view apps, Safari and Notes. And the first feature is that if I swipe all the way to the left, you can see the sidebar comes up, which is great. And I have noticed, for example, if I put Notes over here, it is quite hard for it to open the sidebar. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I think they can probably fix that. And then there's also the Quick Create feature. So with Quick Create, I can easily from the desktop create a split view. So what I do, I press and hold on this button, then I can choose the right or left sides of the screen, and then here all my other windows show up. So for example, I can press Safari now, and now this is a full screen space. So if I click here, you can see that is the same as it was before. So next is the Notes app. So right here, you can see I have the checklist of all the new El Capitan features for the US on this Notes app. So I can attach rich media such as photos, web pages, and more. So here you can see I just press the share button, I press Notes, and this share card comes up right here, and I can choose a note right here. So I'll just press new note like this and press save. Then if I go over to my iCloud notes, you can see it is pinned in here, and I can still type anything. This works just fine. So if I go back to this one, I also create styles. So you see here's my title style. If I click that, you can see here are all the styles you can create. You can also create checklists and add in photos. So if I click photos right here, See, I could add in any photos I want to. You can also swipe to delete notes, and they all sync across your devices. So here are my iCloud notes, and those will sync. These will sync across my Macs, and all of that. So next is photos. So you can see some photos I've had recently either taken or screenshotted, and there's some new features. So here, albums, come here, and here you can see there's just a screenshot I took recently, and if I assign a location there, you can see I just added in Rockefeller Center right here, which is where they film all of these SNL episodes. And here you can see that's just one of the new features in photos. You can also add a better batch sorting and other things like that. So next is reminders. So the first thing is that there is once again a share menu, so I can share this checklist right here to reminders. I press add and go here. You can see this gets added to my reminders. This doesn't work the best with the notes, the super long notes. You can see it does have the checklist all correct like this, and you'll do that. You can also swipe to delete messages, and you can make them snooze. So if I say this is due tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes, I can snooze the message easily. So next is Safari. So first, it is very easy to pin sites. So here you can see I dragged it all the way to the left, and I pinned this Apple site over here, and it just shows the favicon of the app over there. And I can draw this one. This one will show this Notes app overview like that, and once again the favicon of that. It's also possible to AirPlay video. So if I click this here, you can see there's an AirPlay button, and it even shows up in the YouTube player. If I click that, I can AirPlay it to my Apple TV. It is also possible to mute audio. So here you can see there's an audio button. I can mute this tab right here, and there's a muted thing that comes up there. I can unmute it again from right there. You can also mute the whole browser if you have multiple audio tabs open. So next is Spotlight search. So first, it is movable and resizable. So there you can see I'm just moving it around. If I have results such as if I search one of the new features, which is weather, there you can see that, and I can resize it to make it bigger or smaller. It's dragging like that. Here you can see a bunch of new stuff comes up. So this is the new natural searching that we didn't have before. So here it searches for the actual top hit, which is weather. It also searches for my bookmarks and history, which this link includes the new weather features, a new mail, a new website which has weather, and a bunch of new searches from Bing, such as weather.com, wonderground.com, and AccuWeather. And you can also show all your results in Finder. As I showed before, you can search for natural things. So once again, if I search for mail with attachments, you can see all of these mail attachments that I had earlier. Also, you can see some web video. So here you can see if I just search for a classic YouTube video right here, it'll show it in the web videos, and it shows just a card with the title, the channel, the upload link, and the views plus the description and the duration of the video. And then it also searches, of course, Wikipedia and mail and the Bing searches. So you can see this is on Time Magazine, and it also shows this on YouTube. You can also search for other things such as stocks. So I can search for Apple, and it shows the stock of Apple, which is up 2.62 points. So also search for sports. So I can search for example, Chicago Cubs, and it'll show with the game from yesterday. And unfortunately, the Cubs lost to the Cardinals 4-0. Let's go Cubs. And here you can see there's a schedule. So of course here's their postseason schedule. Right here you can also search more on Yahoo, and it'll go right to the MLB page. It searches all the rest of the stuff too. You can also see there's a new font around here. So this is the San Francisco font, which was first featured on the Apple Watch, and Apple's now implementing it everywhere in all 3 of their operating systems instead of just on watchOS There's also an option to hide the menu bar, so if I go into system preferences in general, there's just an option right here to automatically hide and show the menu bar. So here, if I just drag up like that, you can show the menu bar and it will hide it otherwise. There's also a new cursor finding feature, which was a big feature here. So if I shake it, you can make the cursor a lot bigger. And I have found that this feature sometimes glitches at sometimes, and if I'm just moving my cursor a little bit, it gets too big. And I hope Apple can fix that in a new bug fix release. There also is a new redesigned disk utility, as you can see here. So all this information is now on the toolbar, and it looks a lot cleaner and follows with the new Yosemite design that they had last year. And before, it was just like the old Mavericks designs from before. So guys, that wraps up this video on an overview of OS X Capitan. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Also, any suggestions for videos to do in the future, please leave them down in the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time right here on Drummer Tech.